Twitch. I'm joined, as always, my brother standing in at a nice 5'4", 137 pounds. That's probably a heavyweight in some country. Tony is
Jesus
in the building.
Christ.
How we feeling today?
I'm Javante Davis.
That's what I was about to ask. I'm like, ain't that like around his like measurements?
Yes, it is. It is indeed.
See, there we go. See, I'm not fucking with you. I give respect. I don't give like disrespectful like height weights. I don't come out the gate and be like, yo, my man 5'5" sitting at 250.
I know a human. I know a human.
Hey, no, that's I ain't gonna lie. Like, if as someone who about 2 years ago was the heaviest I ever was, but I when I look back on it, I'm like, I would definitely always rather be like tall and fat versus like short and fat. Because like tall and fat, you can kind of hide it with certain situations. Short and fat, you just kind of fucked. Like you just got to hold that. And that's like, because like Shaq has been like he's the ultimate example. Like Shaq was a fat nigga post what like '07. Like was he really just totally lost out of shape?
Oh, yeah, in that sense. Yeah, probably post the championship, post the fourth title. Yeah, that's when he was just like, all right, I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah. And it's like Shaq is like he was fat, but because he was still 7'1" and like this nigga was 300 pounds our whole life, it was like it didn't look super crazy in the same way it would somebody else. Cause I remember back then they used to say he was damn near 400 pounds. And I'm like, 400 pounds on a regular human being would look nuts. On Shaq, it just is like, all right, there's just a big nigga, which is what Shaq's always been. And
They used
so
to say LeBron was like 300 pounds.
honestly, I never believed those reports. The shit they were saying about Miami LeBron, you want to say he's the greatest player ever? I get it. I might not say it, but I totally understand the argument. I'm like, but the shit that they was trying to get off for like a nigga who was already out of this world athletic, like you need to hype up LeBron James and be like, yo, you see what he just did? Is like, nigga, we all saw it. Like he's a 6'8", 270 freight train, and he running fast than everybody on the court. Like, you don't need to hype this guy up. Um, shout out to I just had his name, but shout out to the Laker fan, quote unquote, that's suing LeBron for $800. Um,
Suing LeBron James for $800 hey, shout out to you, man.
I just want to know, and we're gonna get into real topics here, but like, I just want to know who in their right mind thought a guy who's arguably the greatest ever at a sport was just gonna hit the retirement press tour at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. Like that was like the thought process niggas had. Like, oh yeah, LeBron's gonna say it's over with. Like on a Tuesday at 7 a.m. What? Like maybe a Hennessy ad is wild at Tuesday on at 7 a.m. too, but I'm like, this nigga ain't announcing his retirement. Like LeBron is too. I know people think he loves attention. LeBron's like way too media smart to do that shit. Just like on a random Tuesday, like unless if Skip was still on First Take, I would buy it just to fuck up Skip's whole show. But Skip ain't on TV no more, so or he's on Gil's show, which is a wild world that we're living in. Skip Bayless and fucking um why am I blanking on his
Akeem
name?
Talib.
Akeem's my nigga. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Akeem Talib. Akeem Talib is my nigga. Akeem Talib came out. Oh man. I'm glad money never changed him. He said it was the Mark Sanchez shit. That was still making me laugh. He's like, I totally get how Mark Sanchez ended up like that. He's like, you know how many days I don't remember because it was like Saturday, nothing to do, and me and my homie just was still going blasted. Like, I woke up in prison. Like, he's like, I woke up in the cell a couple times. He's like, once I just snuffed the cab driver, and I'm like, damn. Imagine me the cab driver.
The
And he
thing
gave
about that is when you think about NFL cities, there's not a lot of NFL cities that's like nothing to do. Like most NFL cities are
that's
pretty like have shit to do.
you gotta. It's what like at the top of the list. Like not shit to do. NFL cities would be what Green Bay. Uh,
I guess. I
I would.
mean, depends on what you into.
Well, that's on that.
I'm sure
Yeah,
Nick Bosa have a time in Wisconsin.
I would say Arizona, but that's only because I've been to Arizona a handful of times in my life, and that shit is boring as fuck. I know the shit to do in Arizona, but that shit was boring as fuck every time I've been to Arizona.
The
Outside
Cardinals
of like
playing
what?
fucking. They playing what? Glendale.
Yeah,
They don't play in Phoenix. That's the problem.
that's no 1,000%. And like my what would she be? It was my great grandmother. So Larry's mom, we used to go up there, and the most exciting thing to do up there was there was a Walmart, and that was like
That's
the
very funny.
excitement.
That's
Like that
very
shit was
funny.
boring as that shit was boring as fuck. So I was like, yeah, I ain't doing this. Um, why is Aaron Glenn at halftime or fucking on the 50-yard line? Nigga, y'all didn't get it. Go back. You ain't gonna just hype. I feel bad for Aaron Glenn. All right. Rapper of the like, because I don't think Aaron Glenn's a bad coach, but I don't think that like if the expectation was he was gonna win immediately, like if I'm viewing that, I'm like, I think it's more disappointing like what Pete Carroll's doing, because I think there was expectation to win immediately with the Raiders versus Aaron Glenn. Like, I don't think there was real expectation with the fucking Jets immediately.
That couldn't
Like,
have
this
been the
ain't a good team.
expectation when you starting Justin Fields. They got that
And
first
I
down
and
though.
I yeah. And I like Justin. I just for no reason other than I just hope he succeeds. I don't have anything to base that on. Like, I don't have like, oh,
That shit
he's,
cooked.
it is, but it's like, wait, did they got him in the no, okay, it is. I was tripping. I thought they did a sideline shot. I'm like, damn, they benched this nigga. I was like, yo, wait a minute. How you get benched in London? Like, that's fucked up. Oh shit. Who you been listening to this week? Who's making rapper of the week for you? Although I got an idea.
My rapper of the week. I mean, who's my rapper of the week? You tell me.
I think it's gonna be Mob Deep affiliated, because you was talking about this album the last 48 hours. Um, I listened to it last night, and so I'm going to assume that's the direction you are going.
It is very much Mob Deep. Yes, my rapper of the week is Havoc and Prodigy. The f- the legendary rap group Mob Deep. New album just came out Friday. Really good album. It gets you in your feelings for sure. And ran back some of the older discography early in the week, in the last week as well. And yeah, man, just you know. Outcast is the Mob Deep of the South. Mob Deep is the Outcast of the North, if you will, that type of thing. And it's
Valid.
just the levels of rapping that Prodigy is able to get to on these albums and just throughout his rap career is just a level of rapping that many people can't reach. And he did it without trying. Like, he was an effortless rapper. And that's one of the things I don't think we have a lot of today. When you talk about great rappers that can do it without trying. And he was, he was special. And Havoc is one of the most underrated producers ever to me. Like, I love Havoc. Um, and those Mob Deep albums, they age like wine. From the production, from the rapping, like it is just great art. Like, it's great art. Fuck rap, it's great art. And yeah, man, just go listen to the new Mob Deep album if you haven't. Rest in peace, P.
Yeah. Um, it's great with to like the effortless point of like there is like a level of like I would consider niggas like that as like Push feels like that, Kiss feels like that. I think obviously Nas and Ho feel like that. Like niggas who just they just have that where it doesn't matter how old, what point in their life. Like if you just put on a beat that they like, them niggas can give you a fire 16 and it will feel like that's just what they were born here to do. Like it's not like they trying super hard to rap or they got to think about this. They're just gonna have lines until the day that like forever. Um, and I was listening to that last night. Damn, dope as fuck. I have kind of a collective, and that was because we got an announcement that Versus was coming back, and so it was um kind of for me. It was the Hot Boys as a whole. So it's Young Wayne, BG, listen to 400 Degrees, Juvenile. Like as a collective, I've just been kind of listening to a bunch of it. Just now, I have no idea what this verse is going to look like. By the way, I think there is
Nobody
obviously
does.
there's all the potential in the world for one of the most fire like music events ever. a lot of these niggas though being in the same room, I think is gonna be we'll see when we get there, man. But to Versus credit, and I think this is the excitement part of my brain that wants to be optimistic. I had no idea how Jeezy Gucci was gonna look, and you can make an argument that was 1A 1B the best verses. So I will give Versus their credit that they have put interesting people on the same stage before. Um, but yeah, just kind of going back to that whole era. Um, and I saw a tweet, and I'm not sure if it was just in the moment or if this is truly your opinion. And I'm not mad
Hmm.
at it if it is. I just want the follow up. Do you truly believe Wayne does not have a better album than 400 Degrees?
That broke my heart to tweet out, but he don't though. He don't though.
I was curious. I was like, I don't know if this is
He
like
don't
just
though. Cause because obviously there's only two albums to me that of Wayne's that when studio albums, not talking about mixtapes and stuff. When you think about studio albums, it could only be Carter One or Carter Two.
mm,
And going through I also was running 400 degrees a few yesterday, literally, because I love 400 degrees. But so I said, let me go look at the track listing of these albums and try to compare them. So I look at Carter One. And it's like as much as I love that album, it's not better
mm,
than 400 Degrees. That's just the facts. Both Manny Fresh produced some of Manny Fresh's best beats too, might I add, on both of those albums. But um,
mm,
C1 isn't better, and then C2 could be better, but C2 has a lot of meat on it. It has a lot of fat on it, I should say. Not not that you can't eat the fat. I'm not saying the fat can't be
I
good, but it does have a little fat on it, little bit. Not It's not overly fatty, but it does have a little bit on it to where if you strip a few parts of it, it's probably more concise. I think it would beat out 400 degrees, but man, 400 degrees is phenomenal. Like it
no,
is,
great
it is
album,
just the right amount
great
of
fucking album.
songs. It has the hits on it, hits that still play today, and it's just yeah. I was looking at that and I was like, yeah. I was like, I think Wayne does, but then I looked at it, I was like, no, he don't. I was like, he don't. He does not.
It it's so tough whenever I like think of shout out by the way, BG and Wayne have like a newish song. Came out like 3 weeks ago, I think now. It's those two and Busta. And it's great because one of those moments where it's like Wayne, the now back half of his career, whatever, with 2013, 2014 on, has been it's very hit and miss. But there is still hits. And some of Wayne's lines to me are always funny. It's like if you just read them off a piece of paper, you're like, no, this can't be like some fire shit. Like this wasn't like one of the greatest rappers ever. But between his delivery style, etc., like this nigga said, um, uh, man, why am I blanking? I'm gonna get to it in a second. I'm gonna think about it. But anyway, that was kind of also too. It's like I found that randomly. Then obviously got the announcement, which is kind of where I went through. But Wayne's bodies of work are tough because Wayne has some of the best lines ever in rap, but because it's all over the place between mixtapes, albums, all these features, it's like it is sometimes hard to say. Like I think we've all said like No Ceilings to be his best project if you take anything that he's ever done, but it's also weird when it's a mixtape. So it's like, yeah, this is your best project, but that really just means it's your best lines because obviously those beats aren't yours. Um, which is part of the specialty that makes it a Wayne. Um,
Right.
the I'm gonna think of that line here in a second when I get back to it. The first one to say shout out really quick. I got mine right now. Shout out to W for sponsoring today's episode. Don't forget you can use Hardfelt 10 at checkout, get 10% off, supports the show. Shout out to W. As a nigga who used to drink 5 to 6 cups of coffee a day, I've probably cut that down to like 2 or 3 cups, and I got my W in the morning, and we rolling. Niggas get up early, and niggas stay up for a long time, so we gotta stay. I feel like NFL offensive coordinators. Um, Not that I'm just making my life extra complicated for no reason. Shout out to and Will's gonna be joining us here in a little bit, by the way, for everybody listening. Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces, um, the best professional team in La Vegas, right? It's the Raiders, Aces. Who else we got in Vegas? Is it just those two?
The A's.
Oh yeah, yeah. So the best professional sports team in
and
Vegas.
then and the
Um.
Knights. Shouts to the Vegas
Oh
Knights. They
yeah,
actually have a title as well.
yeah. The Knights, okay, but they don't got a dynasty. And before we get
Fair.
into and Tony's one of the perfect people to do this because I say I have become a casual watcher of the WNBA. I love basketball in general. I have become a casual watcher slash enthusiast of the WNBA the last couple seasons. Um, right now, I'm converting myself, and I'm going to do this one sport at a time. I'm converting myself from super casual, barely watching college football fan to really trying to throw myself into college football. By the way, niggas was laughing at 0-1. I haven't heard as many jokes the last couple of weeks, but that's another story for another day. Um, the but Tony is, in my opinion, out of everybody that I talk to, which is about six people, by far the most knowledgeable when it comes to women's basketball. And so the Las Vegas Aces obviously to get their third title in 4 years. And so I want to give the floor to you first. Your breakdown kind of just like is this season, this playoff run, and just the greatness of this Aces team, and obviously Asia, who we're going to give a special highlight to after this.
For this Aces team to to win this title, it is one of the more incredible turnarounds we've seen in sports, to be honest. This was a team that was 14-14, staring down the barrel of missing the playoffs at the beginning of August, end of July. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is a team that goes on a 16-game winning streak to end the regular season. They finished the season 25-3 after
That's
a
crazy.
53-point loss to Minnesota, which would be their last loss of the regular season. Um, yeah, it's just incredible how they turned this around. Obviously on the shoulders of Asia Wilson and her being a defensive and offensive anchor, but Jackie Young hitting another level, hitting another tier of superstar, Chelsea Gray being the leader and still pound for pound the best point guard in the game. When you talk about all that comes with being a point guard, you look at Jewel Lloyd coming off the bench and really saving her best play for these finals, but the playoffs as well. Getting contributions from Dana Evans, making the Nalissa Smith trade that turned around that season, giving them another presence inside that can make shots around the rim and get to the free throw line. As somebody that was active defensively, like this was it was just an incredible turnaround. Like I haven't seen anything like this in the W in a long time because typically what you have in the W is that if you're great throughout the regular season, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that you're going to meet in the finals. That's just how it's gone over the last few years.
Mm.
But to see this Aces team come back um, the way they did and turn into a great team when everybody kind of wrote them off, me too, to an extent, to be honest, and and just and be here, like be three-time champions in 4 years, a real dynasty. Asia Wilson, what can we say? What can you say that hasn't been said? Like, it's truly one of the best runs of basketball we've ever seen, man or woman. But yeah, this was a special title, and I think that they'll really cherish this one, because obviously they won in 22, they won in 23, but they had to work for this, man.
Oh yeah.
The path to this title, obviously the regular season struggles, but you go to a game 5 with Seattle, which literally came down to the last shot. Literally came down to the last shot. You go down to a game 5 with was it game 5? Yeah, game 5 with Indiana that could have went their way if some injuries don't occur and things like that. What does that series look like if Caitlin Clark's there? Like, you survive that. And then you go into the finals against Phoenix and you just take care of business. You don't leave any doubt that you are the champions. You don't leave any doubt that you're the best team in the league. Um, and yeah, this is special, man. It was special.
It's one of those runs. I think the only thing that's going to be, and this is from a I think about this shit way too much from a pure sports perspective. As much as the W has obviously seen a rise in popularity the last couple of years, this is one of those runs that I wish they had. I wish they were higher in the hierarchy because I don't think people understand. If 23 from Chicago took that shot and made that shot that Asian made at the end of game 3, like, I don't think people realize how crazy of a shot in the history of basketball that would be considered, right? Like, we love game winners. That's just a part of basketball, which is why we don't even really care when it comes down to it. Like, I know there's a lot more stat nerds in sports who are like, well, this guy only shot this percentage in the fourth quarter. And like, I don't give a fuck. I remember, like, Dirk, I know for a while was like Dirk had a low field goal percentage as far as game winning shots, but I remember Dirk's game winners. Like, Kobe doesn't have the greatest game winning percentage, but I remember Kobe's game winners. I remember LeBron's game winners. Like, that, one of LeBron's first super memorable shots was that shot against Golden State. And that's pre, like, what obviously Golden State ended up becoming. But like, game winners are so cool. They are a huge fabric to me, just enjoying the game of basketball. Hitting essentially a finals clinching shot. I know it wasn't a buzzer beater, but just, I think there's what, like 0.4 left on the clock, 0.5 left on the clock after she hit it. Like, not a ton of time to do that over 2 defenders to win a finals, clinch your, if you believe only 3 out of 4 is a dynasty, cool. Like, to do that in the history of just basketball, men or women's, that's a shot that I hope does not get lost to history. And I feel like
For sure.
with the W, because there's only a handful, unfortunately, because it's just, it hasn't hit that level of like the other major sports for men's sports. And there's a lot of incels in the world. Because it hasn't hit that yet, some of its greatest accomplishments are, they're recognized, but they're not even celebrated to the degree that they should be. Like, like Cheryl Miller is one of the greatest basketball players ever, men or women. And there is the cynical side of my brain that thinks sometimes the conversation, everybody, Reggie himself says, oh yeah, she was better than me. But some of her relevance, unfortunately, did come through the fact of Reggie was on TNT every Thursday. So it was like her name was kind of, that kept help bring her name along, even though the W obviously wasn't
She was
even
on
where it is
TNT every
today.
Thursday.
This is true, but like Reggie, like calling the games, the Knicks. I feel like I was force fed that fucking Knicks moment, that whole fucking Knicks series, my entire childhood, because they couldn't wait to show Reggie doing fucking this every fucking time that he was on a broadcast. Obviously, like
I
these,
say they didn't do it enough, if you ask me personally.
like Lisa Leslie, like some of these players who, just because the league's not, it's like Asia's doing shit like Bill Russell. Right? Like, when you do shit that Bill Russell's done, you can say what you want
Yeah.
about Bill Russell. Say he dominated the league with eight teams. It was all white people besides, like, say whatever you want. You do anything and you in the same conversation as Bill Russell, you doing it. Like, that's just, there's no way of answer buts around it. And so yeah, no, incredible playoff run. Incredible what they were able to do, and Asia's fucking amazing, man. Um, so much so that I asked Tony earlier this week, and I was like, and Tony is ready. Tony's the man. I was like, I want top 10 men or women basketball players in the world. And it took about 2 minutes. And this nigga had a response for me. So these are inaugural 10. How long have you had this list in your opinion? And I guess how often does this list change for
It
you?
came to me in the moment. It literally came to me in the
Okay.
moment because when we talk about the men players, it's generally like
The same niggas.
it's a consensus. I feel like yeah, the same motherfuckers. And I don't. Did I put Tatum in there?
So that's what I was gonna say. I think the
I
only
can't
consensus
remember.
part that you separate is, I think your 4 and 5 people are gonna argue. I might not, but I think people are gonna argue your
Okay, all
4 and
right,
5
because
because
I wasn't sure.
yeah. And a part of this list too is because you've been saying for the last, I want to say the last handful of months. You like only person better than Asia playing basketball is Jokic. And then even more and more as the end of the regular season and the playoff run, you kind of kept inching you like, hey, it's only Jokic, but it's only Jokic, but and then we'll go through here the list. So coming in, this is Tony's top 10 basketball players in the world, men or women. Starting in at number 10, the ageless wonder still, Steph. Steph still top 10 to you, even despite his age?
I mean, he's got to be if because I tend to like not really include guys of a Steph of a LeBron on lists still when they get to a certain point because I feel like their tier and their status is solidified. But for the sake of this conversation argument, I'd include him. And in that case, like Steph Curry is still one of the 10 best basketball players in the world. If you think he's closer to 5 than 10, fair. I have no issue with that. But he's still in the top 10. We talk about this all time, the best players in the world still.
It's kind of crazy when like we're gonna open up number 9 here when you say Steph is an ageless wonder because he is doing shit at an age that is we're normally not used to seeing niggas do shit. Except number 9, this nigga's 41, man. Like, what are you? And I agree that LeBron is still in the top 10. And I just don't know if like we're ever gonna really understand like 50 years down the road, like a 41-year-old is probably gonna average 23, 24 points a game. Like,
And he's
what
still
are
on
you doing,
any
bro?
given game the best player in the in the world. Like any given game, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world.
Like, that's insane. And I agree. It's just it's crazy to think about that. And again, like Steph and KD are both like they should be the anomalies because they're in their late 30s playing as well as they are. And it's like, but you can't even fully give them that when LeBron's still out here at 40 years old doing this. Our first young NBA player, at number 8, you got Anthony Edwards. This one I could see people giving a little bit of pushback.
I mean, you I should I think people have Ant closer to the top 5,
It's
especially if you think about everything he's done thus far, back-to-back Western Conference Finals. He'll hold every record in Timberwolves history when it's all said and done.
yeah. Um, Coming at number 7, our first WNBA player, Nafisa. Where, and I guess we'll start the convo now. Where in your mind do you start separating obvious? There's the obvious like what physically they're able to do. Like I know they was talking about could the Aces beat a team, and it's
Mhm.
like love the convo. Asia's still 6'4", and there's obvious limitations. Where when you're comparing the women professionals versus men professionals, where is that line for you when you start comparing who's better?
That's one of those things where I'm just like, any comparison, honestly, not even just women to men, but even men to men of different eras, it's just like, that's not how none of this works. Like, if you think that if you have if you're in a room of 10 guys, different age ranges, different eras of the sport, one has Michael Jordan number one, the other has Kareem number one, another may have Oscar Robertson number one, Dr. J's top 5 of all time to some people, like whatever. We can only base these things off of how these players played in their era, and against the competition they were against. We can make jokes and talk shit for sure. He played in this era when it was this many guys, or this era was softer than this, and blah blah blah. But it's like I think you can only legit compare you can only compare guys one to one when you're splitting hairs. When you're splitting hairs on greatness, that's when you can talk about competition levels. That's when you can talk about how many titles they won, shit like that. But when we're just ranking greatness of all time, I can only put them in the era of where they played and how dominant they were. So I'm never one to be like, well, Jerry West played in this NBA, so he's not better than fucking Vince Carter. Like, just like Jerry West was a dominant guard when he played. He was a fantastic guard. And if you want to look at it and say, is he better than if you want to look at it and say, okay, put Jerry West at his level of greatness into 2025, the equivalent of that level of greatness, Jerry West
Mm-hmm.
would still be a top player. Like if
Yeah.
let's say Jerry West's best year is Shea's best year. That's the MVP of the league and the Finals MVP. Like what the fuck are you people talking about? So
No,
I
1000%.
think those are always pointless. So to women and men, it's the same thing. It's like who's great at what they do, and these women are great at what they do in their league. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Nah, I agree. I like that. Um, at number 6, now I will still clown 1960s NBA players for not dribbling with their left hand, but that's sidebar. Um, at number
But to
6,
7 before we get to 6 to 7, that's I have Nafisa Kalia there, and I think that what gets lost about Fee is that if she's not playing, it's essentially the you're playing with Michael Jordan's playing thing.
mm-hmm. Oh, I think we lost him. Whoops.
So I think the same is for Fee. You know, she's not playing in the league.
That's fair. The
She's MVP runner up the last 2 years.
oh,
Can you hear me?
all right, now I can.
There we go. I got
I lost you there
disconnected a
for a
little
sec.
bit. But
Yeah.
but to what I was saying about Nafisa is that she's MVP runner up the last 2 years to clearly obviously Asia Wilson. She won Defensive Player of the Year last year. She's all WNBA first team over the last 3 seasons. She's an incredible player. She can work inside. She shot 40% from three this year. Like she was 53,
Yeah.
41, and 91 from the free throw line to go. Like this, she's playing center. She's doing this as center. She's 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists a game on the league's best team, on the number one seed. Like she's phenomenal.
No, it and it's tough. Like it's and I don't even know if there's really like a great way to compare it, but like when you at any time you play in that era or in an era where the GOAT plays or somebody who's in that caliber, like we're talking about like Steph at 10, it's like Steph at 37 should be one of the standards for, oh my gosh, this is longevity we've never seen before. Except when LeBron's right next to you, it's like, all right, well, you do look a little different next to him. And that's not to, it shouldn't take away from anyone's greatness, but we're humans and comparison is always going to kind of be a part of the game. And so,
Steph at
number
37 is
6,
pound for pound still the best point guard in the game.
see, that's the one I would agree with you, but I also think I probably have to open
Like
to the
I
argument
think it's Shea
that,
personally, but you can still argue Steph is the best point guard in
okay,
the game. You saw that when he went out and Green Bay and Golden State looked like shit against Minnesota. You saw the
I agree.
gravity he still carries.
No, he is still the, again, you put any 5 niggas on the court, Steph's the first one getting double teamed. And like we saw that in the Olympics. Like he was standing next to LeBron James and
What a
Kevin
run.
Durant. And niggas said, no. You the little 6'3" light skinned nigga, get him. Like the greatest player ever, and maybe the greatest scorer ever. No. We can deal with them one-on-one. We can have a anyway. Um stand number 6, the new leader in LA, I guess, or new best player in LA. Skinny Luca. Shout out to niggas getting skinny in year 7, 8, however the fuck long he's played. Good job, Zion. Um,
He's literally a year. I think like a year. He was drafted a year before Zion.
Yep. You know how bad it is for me to like not have faith in like a sports team. Like I root for losers my whole life, and like I just can't get excited for like it's so bad right now, man.
For Pelicans
Um,
basketball.
it's just it's so bad. Um, yeah. Luca 6. So this would mean Luca is still a top 5 NBA player to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Valid. The do you think I guess my only question with Luca heading into this season is like, do you think the skinny thing matters that much?
No, it never really did. Now, what does matter is his fucking effort on defense because he does not guard anything. So, like that matters more. I don't think him being skinny or fat really makes a difference when we talk about his play on the court. Now, that affects his long term situation because, like, I've never thought Luka Doncic was going to play till he was like 37, 38. I always thought he'd retire at like 34, 35 anyway. So it matters in that sense. But to him being a dominant player, like him, he just went to the fucking finals. Like we just seen him go to the finals fat, so that does not matter. And he didn't. They didn't
Yeah.
lose the finals because he was fat. They lost the finals because they played against the best team in the league.
No, that's valid. That's valid. And I agree. It's why I don't think the skinny thing's that big of a deal because like if he don't show effort on defense, he's not gonna show effort on defense. It's not. I don't think it's a stamina thing of why he doesn't show effort. I think he just does. And again, if you're scoring 30 points a game and you getting 10 rebounds, 10 assists, you probably feel like, this defense shit, nigga. Let fucking Rui Hachimura play defense. At number 5, and this thing's one that's gonna be probably the most contentious, just considering who your number 4 is. But number 5, you got SGA.
Look, they can yell at me all they want, and I get it. I get what Shea just did, and I get how fantastic Shea is. I just still think Jason Tatum, who we'll see coming up, because I'm sure a lot of people can guess the top
Yeah, we
three
good.
at this point.
Yeah, we could throw up Tatum.
I I just think that Jason Tatum's better than Shea. Like I fully understand this will be the most controversial thing. I also think that a lot of that controversy is because people don't like how Jason Tatum plays basketball. People don't like how Shea plays basketball. I think that they're two of the
I'm
more
people to the SGA part.
I don't want to say controversial players in the league because that's not the right word, but they're two of the most polarizing players in the league when you talk about how they play, how their success goes and things like that. A lot of people look at Shea as a foul merchant. They don't like that. They don't like his style of basketball a lot. People think Jason Tatum. People on the other end think Jason Tatum doesn't foul merchant enough. He shoots too many threes. He doesn't look to get to the rim enough. Is literally the opposite of how they play. I think if Shea played like Jason Tatum, a lot of people would probably like Shea more. I think if Jason Tatum played like Shea, a lot of people would like Jason Tatum more. And obviously, a lot of the Jason Tatum dislike comes into the fact he's a light skinned nigga with curly hair. That also plays a role. He went to Duke. Like he isn't the most like like easily to
Yeah,
root for type of motherfucker. Like that's just the reality of the matter that people don't really want to talk about. But I think Tatum's a better rebounder. I think he's just as good of a scorer. I think he's just in a system that he plays a certain way. I think defensively, I think Tatum's a little better defensively. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he is defensively. Um, and when we talk about
I'm
ball
agreeing.
handling, obviously Shea plays point guard there. But I think when we talk about passing ability, I think Tatum's just as good of a passer as Shea. Now, it's Shea's a more efficient player, but that I think that also comes in the system. I think if Jason Tatum was in a different system than what Joe Mazzulla runs, he'd be more efficient as well. So, I think you're picking hairs at that point. But I just think Tatum's a better player personally.
No, that's valid. To the Duke part, I was thinking is funny is because it is the one thing I think Zion definitively has as far as his career hasn't been. Zion might be the only cool nigga to come out of Duke in like the last 20 years.
He's not the
Like
only
niggas,
cool one, but he's not as Duke affiliated because he didn't need Duke. A lot of these other guys kind of needed that Duke brand, and Zion was famous without Duke, so he doesn't get it as much as others because he's big. He's bigger than Duke basketball. He was bigger than Duke basketball.
damn. That's valid.
Like
Nigga had what,
Zion,
a million
Zion could have
followers
went
on
to
like 16?
fucking. He could have went to South Carolina and been Zion Williamson. Some of these guys couldn't have gone to. Some of these guys had to go to Duke to be what they are from a fame standpoint.
Nah, that's valid. The nigga who I love so much that I don't know what my top 10 worst takes are ever. But I know that my Bucks have a chance to win the title last year is going to end up somewhere around there, and it's solely because I think the world of this nigga, man. I don't know what people want me to say. I think the world of this nigga. Like, I just think Giannis is. I don't think we appreciate how great Giannis is. I understand. I don't. He's probably not
No,
the
we
best big
don't.
god above him, but like, I don't think we understand what the fuck this is, man.
It's it's kind of crazy how we went from okay, obviously it's Jokic, but Giannis is still like we went from that to like is Giannis still a top 5 player in the league? And it's just like we're losing the
That's
plot.
crazy.
We're losing the plot.
It's
We're
crazy.
losing the plot. Where was he at on ESPN's top player shit? Was he like 5 or 6?
ESPN top 1 players. I'll pull it up really quick while you keep going. And I think also too,
Maybe he was 3. I think he was behind Shea and Joker. And I don't think he should be. Giannis is no worse than the second best player in the league. He's just like that's just the
that's fair.
reality. He's no worse than the second best player in the league. He's still arguably the
No,
best. He's still arguably the best defender in the game when he wants to be. He's still pound for pound the best offensive weapon in the league. Like I just he averaged 30, 12, and 7 last year.
like it's kind of crazy. Also, I'll
He
make sure
shot
we intro real
60%
quick.
from the field for the second straight year.
No, it is so okay. Here we go. Top 10. So Giannis they put at 4. So they had Luca ahead of him. I'll never
That's
do that. They
that's
had Shea
insane.
ahead of
That
him.
is
I'll never
insane.
do that. Jokic's the only nigga I'm like. If we just talking niggas, like Jokic is the only nigga that I will say is better than Giannis. And even then, and now they did do
Even then,
something,
I
and
I could have the argument. Even then,
because Jokic is like, and I guess we'll pull up here. Jokic is your number 2, because Jokic is now. And maybe this is a little bit of bias because I slammed Luca really hard. Jokic is not a no effort defender, which I think is the difference between him and Luca. And because he is still a
for
legit
sure.
7-footer, like he does things like, is he an all world defender? No. And is the gap defensively between him and Giannis massive? Yes, it is. Because the only nigga I'm saying definitively this year is probably better than Giannis defensively is if the alien in San Antonio is fully formed. That nigga's fully formed, fine. I will concede. But
Man,
like, because ESPN had him at number 5, and I'm like, I get it. And Will and I were talking about that earlier this week, where I'm like, a lot of San Antonio's projections this year are solely based on is he complete? Like, are we gonna see the version that we're all just kind of waiting for? Of because we all think like, oh, he should be the best player in the league when it all clicks, but we just don't know when that's all gonna click. Um, but yeah, Giannis below SGA or Luka to me is fucking insane. But yeah, I'll let you go. Jokic number 2.
yeah. So obviously, best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. I think the only reason he didn't win MVP last year is because the Thunder won what 68 games. I think if the Thunder win
Yeah,
64 games, 63 games, and they're the 1 seed, I still think Jokic wins MVP. But you just could not dismiss 68 games because you just do not see that a lot. Um,
mm-hmm.
like you said, to what you said about him being not just a lazy defender, he's not. And if you kind of watch how Denver plays, he's essentially the defensive coordinator on the court. He kind of gets everything.
Yeah,
He kind of organizes the defense in that way, to get guys in the right spots where they need to be. He averaged a triple double. I mean, yes, a triple double last year at the center
yeah,
position. Essentially damn near his third straight year averaging a triple double from the center spot. Like it's just what he does is we've never seen anything like it. His ability to shoot the ball, obviously his passing, he's one of the three best passers the league's ever seen. Um, it's it's
Damn.
just
Okay, so I don't know if I've said that out loud. You think it's just what Magic is one? Who else you got up there?
I think it's Magic. I think it's Magic, Bird, and Jokic. I don't. You're splitting hairs with Bird and Jokic, but it's one of the two. When you, I mean, it's one. It's one of the. It's those three for me.
You don't got Braun up there?
No, Braun's top 5 to 10, but he's not. He's not a better passer than those guys. And Braun's fantastic, but like, yeah. But Jokic is 7'1", 300 pounds.
I'm not mad at the take. I just don't think I've ever said that out loud. I think you're right. I've just never said it out loud, and so it makes me go like, because I think Magic has best passer ever like on lock. I don't even know what a nigga would have to do to like
Yeah,
enter that
it's
convo
not
for
really
me.
close there. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, but Jokic is definitely up there because he, to even your point of like defensive coordinator, I don't. There's an argument to me that him and Braun are maybe the two smartest people to ever play basketball. Like if you just watch them on the court, they never look confused, and that's
Wouldn't argue
tough.
it.
Like, because yeah, right. Like he is just kind of, even if he doesn't make the play on defense, you see the way like he just moves his arms and literally calls shit out. It goes, "Hey yo, they about to do this," and it's like, motherfucker, why do you know
Mm-hmm.
that? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then, oh yeah, so going then, oh, where is it at? All right, going to then our number one, cementing her dynasty, 3 out of 4 championships, the best basketball player on the planet, uh, the best basketball player in her own relationship, Asia Wilson, number one. Shout out to
Yes.
Bam though.
Yes.
Shout out to Bam.
Bam joining
Like,
Sheldon Williams as the as the basketball husband to the to the
mm-hmm.
best player in the world. um
Yeah.
I I don't know what you can even say about Asia Wilson, bro, that hasn't been said. Like, rookie of the year, the only 4-time MVP in W history. Um, what we're talking, 3-time defensive player of the year. Should have been reality, probably should have been 4. Think she should have won Depoy last year too. Um, but shout out to Fee. Um, yeah, man, like she's playing at a level of dominance that we have never seen in the WNBA. She's playing at a level of dominance that basketball has rarely seen at all over the years. When you look at what she's done the last few seasons in the W, setting points records, setting rebounding records, along with injuries. This year she averaged 23. She averaged 23, 10, 3, damn near 4 stocks when we talk about steals and blocks. She averaged almost 2 steals a game to go along with the league leading 2.3 blocks a game. That's just insane defensive numbers. Um, she's as efficient as it gets over the last 4 years. When you talk about putting the ball in the basket, she's extending her range out to three. She doesn't take a lot of them, but she shot at a 42% clip this year at about 2 or 3 threes a game. She's getting better. That's the thing. She's getting better. She's not peaking. She's in her prime now and she's still going up. Like, she can still shoot more threes and make them at a better rate than she does. She can still get to the free throw line even more than she does. She has one of the best mid ranges in the league. She's efficient. She's super efficient. Like, her fucking, she's a lefty doing all of this, mind you. Like, she's doing all this
Yeah.
as a lefty. Like, we don't see this type of dominance from lefties. Um, it's just, I don't know, man. And this is not me being prisoner of the moment. Like you said, I've kind of been on this for a while. It's just, we we have to appreciate the greatness. We cannot be in a space and just say, well, it's the WNBA. We can't be in a space and say, well, it's not the level of competition as the NBA. Number one, that's bullshit. The W has just as much, or if not more, competitive players. I won't say the games, but players than the NBA does, because there's
Talk your
not as
shit.
much incentive financially. There's fewer goddamn jobs than the NBA. There is not as many chances in the W as you're going to get in the NBA. We watch bad basketball players every night. We watch bad basketball players Sunday to Sunday every night, and these motherfuckers end up on teams every year and they stink. It is not that type of opportunity in the WNBA. It's just not. And what she's done since she stepped foot in the league has been incredible. But just her growth, watching her work towards becoming a champion. She didn't walk into the league and just walked into championships and success. She had to manage the she had to manage a toxic teammate, and I won't say the name, but those who know. She had to manage that situation. She had to figure out how to get past the Seattles. She had to figure out how to get past the Phoenixes and all of these different teams that knocked them out of the playoffs or pushed them to game sevens and made it hard for her to reach that next level of success. She had to figure it out. And when she did, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when she figures it out. 3 championships in 4 years, beating the best teams, beating the best players. She's beaten the Sabrina Ionescu's. She's beaten the Brianna Stewarts. She's beaten the John Quell Joneses, the Alyssa Thomases, the Satu Sabalis, the Kalia Coppers. All of these teams, she's beaten them. She's name a great player. She's beaten them. And this is what it looks like. This is what greatness looks like. This is what being the best basketball player in the world looks like.
Nah, the list is fire. Like I said, I won't push back on it. I think the only one, I think the consensus, because I don't think outside of ESPN, I don't think niggas really believe Giannis ain't better than SGA and Luka. The only one I think people might give you some pushback on is potentially Tatum. And Tatum and SGA, I can understand the argument, but to me, they're
When
super
Jason
close
Tatum is out there
regardless.
for game one,
That might change some shit. I guess I just view them as like, if you their last 2 seasons, they were the guy, right? Like SGA just had his year, all the wins, get the title, get the finals MVP. That was Tatum just a year ago. And so, and who knows, maybe the Celtics obviously still probably lose that Knicks series because Tatum got hurt towards the end of it anyway, but they basically just flip-flopped who had the last super dominant all-time great season. So I'm mad at those at all. Tony's top 10 basketball players in the world. Um, pull myself back up here. The uh so moving on from the NBA over to the NFL. Let's share here. Let's look at some games. So obviously my team, and they are trying to keep the Jets in this bitch. Wait for Tony to join us back in here. They try to keep the Jets in this bitch by Denver is a, I don't even know, man. They calling so many penalties, and I'll wait for Tony to get back in here before I start bitching more about the penalties. Let's see here. The Jets can't do anything, man. Denver just can't throw this game. Like, that's all. You just can't throw this game, bro.
I'm
You
back
are.
here. Got a little disconnected.
But now you're good. I'm pulling up the week 6 schedule here. This game is so fucking frustrating right now. Is Denver is clearly, I'm not trying to sound like a fan here. Denver's clearly the better team. I know right now it's 11-10. Excuse me. But Denver's clearly the better team. They called a holding that was at NFL. Do me a favor. Lie to me. Y'all already do it, but lie to me more. When you have these networks that pay to have your games, and they bring on a former ref who is supposed to give us some context. I don't know. Is niggas kicking each other out or what's? Hold up. I see Will. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my audio wasn't there.
it's
I think we back good. Can you hear
all right.
me?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear as well?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm saying so NFL. All right, cool. NFL lied to me. Like y'all already do it more. When you have these refs who like Fox has and CBS has, and they're supposed to come on and like add context to the situation or whatever, and be like, all right, this is why it's a flag, blah blah. Nigga lied to me because I am sick and tired of the flags on the field being thrown a certain way, and then the ref coming on the broadcast and being like, I don't know about that one, man. I don't agree with that. And it's like, nigga, just lie to me. Because now I'm more upset. Like, if you come on and say, yo, no, that was a bullshit call, I'm extra pissed now. I'm like, so I called it bull. Y'all called it bull. And it's not like they hire just like a random ref. Like, they hire the guys who were literally in charge. Like, Gene Steratore was in charge of refs for what, over a decade?
They
Who's
stunk
the
then too, though.
it's like, man, just lie to me. Just be like, yeah, good call. Your guy was holding. Fuck it, good call. I bet. Cool. Move on with my life. Just Denver's trying to do everything to like. It's just the stupid ass penalties though, and it's annoying because they called holding. It was like Brandon Stevens. Anyway. just some dumb shit.
Hey, the
And
Jets got
that's the only
11
way Denver's
points.
gonna lose
I
this
don't,
game.
and I don't really know how they got 11 points.
I don't even they have the 50 yards. You know how crazy that is to have 11 points and not have 50 yards? These niggas have 2 first downs. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Denver's clearly the better team, but it's like, bro, come on now. Anyway,
I don't know, man. Jermaine Johnson kicking ass out there.
These niggas, man, just what's the game y'all looking forward to the most this week?
This week, Chiefs Lions off top. I think the Chiefs win this game. I am worried about the Lions because the same thing that happened last year is happening again, and it is worrisome. They are going to start having me playing corner and you having playing corner and Will lined up at the nickel. Is just I don't know if it's good.
Hey, 6'9" corner will be crazy.
6'9" corner be nuts.
I'm only in the goal line. Hey, nigga, try to throw fake.
Brandon
I'm
Brown
pressing
and
like
Cam
hell.
Chancellor felt 6'9". Like when you watch them play, they felt like they were 6'9".
Facts.
I saw a stat. It was a graphic that got retweeted. Earl Thomas was a 5-time first team All Pro by the time he was 28. And I wasn't sure if my brain could really handle like how insane that was.
Speaking of Chiefs, was Earl Thomas better than Eric Berry?
Okay, so my answer is no, but Eric Berry got cancer. So that's the only reason why Eric Berry is not considered, in my opinion. I think Eric Berry might be the only niggas I'm saying are better than prime Eric Berry that played safety are Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu. I think that's where my list ends.
Brian
After
Dawkins?
that, I think Eric Berry is just as good, if not better. And I love
Not mad at
Brian
it.
Dawkins.
Not mad at it.
But I think he is, because Eric Berry was great. Because the reason why like Troy and Ed are so special is because they could do whatever they wanted on the field, and they didn't really need to be either a free or a strong safety. Like they could play the run game. Obviously, Ed's the greatest as far as in coverage, making a play on the ball. Troy is maybe the best individual playmaker. All the wild shit he was doing. Eric could also do that. Like he didn't have to be a free safety, didn't have to be a strong safety. He could play in coverage. He was doing slot corner shit for the Chiefs. And that wasn't like a great Chiefs team or a great Chiefs era. I get it. So they're not going to be viewed. But like the highest compliment I could give Eric Berry, besides comparing to those two safeties, if he was on this dynasty, Chris Jones would not be thought of as highly. Like he would be the best defender on this team. And Chris Jones is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I want to be clear. This is not hate. This is just how great Eric Berry was. Who you got, Chiefs?
But yeah,
Lions,
Chiefs Lions. I'm looking forward to the most.
You said who I got?
Will? Who you got, Chiefs Lions? Because Tony and I are on opposite ends of this, which we'll show our picks here afterwards.
I'm gonna go Lions. I'm gonna go Lions.
Standing with your cousins.
Yeah, those are our cousins.
Um, do y'all like this double Monday Night Football shit?
It's funny. It is very funny. I like it if I like it if we got at least one trash game, but I don't like it for these two games because both of these games are gonna be pretty good.
I I think that I think they should be. I do think they're expecting the Bills to dog walk the Falcons because the game that they start an hour beforehand, they're kind of telling you like, this one we think is going to be competitive for about a quarter, and then we'll switch over to the other game.
Hey man, I just watched the Saints give the Bills all they can handle. I don't know. I don't know if we should just be assuming the Bills dog walking anybody. That defense stinks.
Oh, I agree. Oh, there you go. Fumble. Let's go. I agree. I don't think right now, and like I know I did my power rankings earlier this week. There's really not like a overwhelmingly great dominant team this year, in my opinion. Like there's not a team where it's like, oh, they should be the Bills betting wise get favored in every game, but like there's not a team who realistically should be every single game. They just clearly gonna win. Shout out, we got the fumble recovery. All right, guys, just don't fuck this up. Don't start my Sunday off on this bad of a note. But I don't think there's like because the Eagles aren't it the way we thought. The Bills, I agree with you. The Bills are not who we thought. The Lions are probably the closest to like they feel the most dominant, but it's one-sided. That offense, all-time shit. That defense, y'all better hope Aiden Hutchins' leg stays intact the whole fucking year. Because if he ain't doing it,
tough.
It gets real bad real fast.
It is tough.
Like even who and like again, my last two excellent teams is I had the Rams in there, but the Rams haven't played even to my opinion as great as I think they should have been. And Denver's one-sided. Like Denver's offense is just okay. Their defense is special. And so there's not like a total great team. And the Ravens, I think, would have been also, but y'all really do have the three of us going out there to play defense.
Shout out.
Like y'all niggas.
At least if we went out there for the Ravens, somebody get punched in the damn mouth. We gonna pinch somebody at least. They ain't even pinching niggas right now. But shout out to my guys though.
I'll do a goal line pinch. Stand there at the corner. Wait,
imagine you pinch a nigga off the line and that caused them to like drop the game winner.
That's hey man. See, I'm a believer in like if you gonna commit the penalty, I'm 100% like commit the rough penalty. Like if you know this nigga's gonna catch the ball, hey yo, fuck it, lay his ass out. Like what you got to lose? This nigga's already gonna catch the game winner. You're already gonna lose the game. Like fuck it. Like just knock his ass out. Like that Rams Saints shit.
They took the fumble away.
No. I saw that shit. Because it's Denver versus the refs and the Jets, but it's cool. The what you call it? And so, like that the Rams Saints game, the NFC Championship game. I totally understand why the Rams corner just blew through him. I was like, he was already giving up the play. Like fuck it. And he just looked out that they didn't call shit. So it's like, all right, even better. Make the refs say something.
Shout out to Bradley Roby.
Yeah. Like, hey man, fuck it. I already lost this play. Like, we might as well try. What's that game this week? And by that game, I've been doing this every Friday where I'm like, what's the game that is going to, because the NFL is such a monster, it's going to have better ratings than like other teams' playoffs, but it's just awful. Like, it's just a game nobody should actually watch, but millions of people are going to tune
in. As every NFL game, but I think
Titans
I don't know,
Raiders is rough.
Yeah, like that's the only game I think that could stink. But all these other games have interesting pieces to them enough to not stink. Because I look at Browns Steelers, I think that's interesting. I think that's an interesting game. I think that Cowboys Panthers could be closer than we think. A Patriots win would put them at what? 4-2, 5-2, something like that.
Yeah.
4-2.
4-2,
Yeah,
yeah.
4-2, first place in the division, depending on what happens with that Monday night game. So
No,
I
1,000%.
think Titans Raiders is the only game of this week that like legitimately like just stinks. Like, what am I watching this for?
Did you have you officially thrown the white flag on your Raiders this season?
Like it's I don't, I just don't get what's happening with Gino. Uh, it's probably a bad sign when you hire the coach that was let go because he was too old from the last team. Um,
That's yeah,
and
yeah,
and
yeah.
you bring in the goddamn offensive coordinator of the college national championship game, and but his last NFL stint wasn't the best, and then he's telling the Heisman runner-up that he should switch how he runs, even though you took him in the first round
That's
because of how
insane.
he runs. It's I just I just can't with the Raiders, man. I might gotta get off the narcotic, as Bomani says. I might gotta let it go.
I'll ask this before we move on for the Raider game because this has been the funny question, and it's now reopened the door because of how he's played. And who's the fourth best quarterback in the AFC West?
You are a funny guy, you know that? You are a funny
I'm
guy.
just I just asking questions, man. Brown Steelers, I think,
Geno
is
Smith
also
and Bo
has a
Nix are
chance to be a.
3A and 3B.
Oh shit.
That's just what it is.
Um, I think Brown Steelers has a chance to be just because those defenses are. The Browns defense is legitimately, it's probably the only defense right now I feel like is as good as Denver's. And Myles Garrett's nail it. And stop showing me these fucking stats. I do not care. I'm not entertaining the conversation of Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. I don't give a fuck how many sacks TJ Watt has. You
Nah,
can just
I'm not.
watch two. If you watch Myles Garrett and think there's any active comparison to him, you need to reevaluate football. Because that nigga is just chasing people who are retired now. Like he is in a class by himself. Like it's the Luke Kuechly's, Aaron Donald's. Like it is some of the greatest defenders we've ever fucking seen. He's in that like I'm weird, and again I think about this shit too much. Is like to me, there's like three levels of pass rushers. And when you go into like the all-time guys, like I think LT is kind of by himself. If you want to say Reggie White's there too, I understand it. I probably wouldn't put him quite there. The next level to me is Reggie White, Derek Thomas, those guys. I think Miles is officially in the level 3, which is where I have guys like Vaughn to me is in level 3, where JJ Watt is JJ Watt I'd have him 2. Miles, I would say right now, I'd say Miles, if he retired today, it just sucks that his team success is so piss poor. Because part of Vaughn's legacy is being a Super Bowl MVP as a defensive player. And Myles Garrett is now he's paid to never get that, but because he took the money. He had no issue signing that document. So
I was about to say that's
but he
his
will
fault.
probably
That ain't like
yeah. But that's what's gonna hurt him when you compare him to like the other guys. Like he's not gonna have JJ's because JJ doesn't have a ton of team success, but JJ's got 3 defensive player of the years. I don't know if Miles is gonna get 3 defensive player of the years. He's not gonna have a Super Bowl MVP like Vaughn has, where it's like the team success plus you were that dominant. He's not gonna have.
mm-hmm.
I don't think he's quite Derek Thomas yet. Like rest in peace, Derek Thomas is just Derek Thomas giving niggas hell. And so, but he's gonna end up in that tier of pass rusher. What's the last game here I want to talk about real quick before we get to your ticket? Are you watching Rams Ravens? Like
I'll
just
check it
watching
out.
the game. Okay.
I'll check it out. I'll at least start watching. Like that'll be the first game I start off with. See how it goes because I do have some interest in it beyond my fanhood. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll check it out just because I do think the Ravens will give a better effort than the Houston game just because they have actual players back. Like Kyle's back,
Mhm.
Marlon's back. They have actual players on the field, so I do think they'll give it at the very least a better effort. Will that result in a win? No, I do not think so. But but at least for what it looks like, I think it'll be different.
The yeah, the what you call it? You said other things. I'm like, I can tell when niggas put the over on Puka.
You gotta read between the lines. You know,
Um,
we ain't giving free promo here, so
like, I just like I can tell when niggas have the over on Puka. What is his over under for today? That's got to be crazy. What's Puka's over under
it's
for
like eight and a
today?
half catches, 9.5 catches.
Gosh damn. Shout out to Puka Nakua, man. Oh, last game, Bears Commanders. Will and I already kind of talked about this earlier this week. The rematch of the game where it all went downhill. Like the Commanders get the Hail Mary, Commanders continue to they go up. The Bears get Hail Married on, and it's been nothing but down, or at least in terms of last season, went nowhere but down. Who gets the rematch tomorrow, Monday Night Football?
It's in it's in Landover. I'd probably go. That's a good question. Who does win that game? I'm prone to take the Bears. I'm especially if Terry doesn't play again, which I don't think he will. I think the Bears can offensively. I think they'll have a better outing than they did in that Vegas game last time we saw them. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're coming there with kind of a point to prove. And also, Ben Johnson's got to have kind of a point to prove. We saw what the Commanders did against his offense in the playoffs, so I think that he'll want to kind of get back against them for ending his Lions tenure less than where he thought it'd be. So I go with the Bears tomorrow night. I think they get some revenge in quote unquote DC, even though that ain't where they play.
That's your regional battle. I'm not even sure I totally understand it, but that's your regional battle. Um, all
It's
I know is
literally
once niggas
just
start doing
it's if the Chargers kept the it's if the Chargers kept the San Diego name, but they played in fucking what's like a random California city, not even like a big one, just like a random one. If they
Fallbrook.
played in like Chula Vista,
Yeah, that's basically Mexico. Like Chula Vista is literally the last city. You can take a
that's
wrong exit on Chula Vista, and you'll dead ass be in the line to go to Mexico.
that is exactly
Like,
what it is. It is if if the San Diego Chargers played in Chula Vista, that's what the Commanders are.
oh man. Um, we'll run yours first, and I'll pull up mine. But Tony's ticket for this week. Last week, pretty good week for both of us. I went 4-1.
Yeah,
You went, yeah, you went, yeah, well, no, yeah, both 4-1, three. You went 3-1, and I basically went 5-0 because the Jaguars won. Yeah, it wasn't enough to cover the spread, but like any Chiefs loss was a win in my book, so I pretty much went 5-0. That's why I'm
what
at.
they covered? Wasn't it three and a half?
It was 3.5, but they only won by 3.
Ah,
So they
okay,
didn't
okay,
get
okay. I thought it
the.
was
So
four.
I lost
Okay.
again. I lost the cover, so I technically went 4-1. But I'm like the Chiefs lost, so like my heart was warm that night. Um, this is what we're looking at this week. Let the people know how you came to these decisions.
So I like the Chiefs tonight. I think the Chiefs offense is coming along really well. They get Rasheed back. I liked how they played against Jacksonville. Thought they had some bozo plays there, but not in a sense of like the offense fault. I think it was just a Mahomes thing. But I like how the offense is looking. Like I said, the Lions losing these players on defense I don't like it at all. When we talk about that secondary. The Patriots, if they are who I think they are, especially coming into the season, because I did have them making the playoffs anyway, they should go in there and beat the
Mhm.
Saints by a million. And the Saints are a tough out. That's not even me saying like the Saints are just a walkover. But
Spencer Radler
I just
shockingly
think
playing
higher of
good.
the Pats.
Yeah. No,
Yes,
Spencer Radler's been
absolutely.
he's
Where
not
we
the
at?
reason they're losing. Bucks 49ers.
San Fran, San Fran and Tampa should be a. I think it'll be closer than my mind is telling me. But the San Fran's just missing a lot on defense. Obviously, Nick Bosa's out for the year. I think Upton Stout was questionable. I don't even know if he practiced all week. I think he was limited if he did practice. And that
Mhm.
secondary's banged up. They get Malik Mustafa back, but it's first game back, so I'm sure he'll be on a snap count anyway. So, and then offensively, I just think the Bucks should be able to make some things happen. You're playing a team that can't get much pass rush in San Francisco, and Tristan Wirfs will be back this week. Missing Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, but Abuka has been incredible. Bucky Irvin's
Mm-hmm.
out, but the Bucks can always they just manufacture good runs. Rashard White should have some success today. And Emeka Ibuka's the fucking man. So I don't really that's really all you gotta say about
Yeah.
that. Emeka Ibuka's the man.
Yeah.
And
No doubt.
the Colts Cardinals, the fucking Cardinals piss me off so much. They should be much better than they are, but they have a lot of injuries going into this game as well. Kyle is probably out, which in theory could be one of those. Well, it could work in their way, but I don't think it will. Like I like Jacoby Brissett. I think he's a good backup, but I don't think this Colts team is a team that's going to succumb to Jacoby Brissett. I just don't. Um, think that the Colts will put up a lot of points in this game. Think they can hit the 30 plus mark. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I just haven't seen anything from the Cardinals to think they can go in there and cover the spot against a Colts team that's rolling.
This Daniel Jones fuckery will end at some point. It might not be this week, but this Daniel Jones fuckery
Maybe,
will end at some point.
maybe,
I
maybe,
just, I,
maybe not.
I just, man, look, it's. He's gonna have to. I don't know when I'm gonna start acknowledging Daniel Jones as a good quarterback. I don't know if I will, to be honest with you.
That
But
schedule is cake.
it is, and that's the part that's like, look, man. Um, real quick, just going through here. Oh, they got my shit showing. There we go. The obviously I got. Why the fuck they ain't showing? Oh, why are they fucking? Hold up. They got my shit fucked up. Oh, they got my shit fucked up. Oh, hold up. Okay, I'm about to pull that up later. I'll post mine afterwards because they didn't want this shit to
Okay.
update correctly. Going to oh, and again, Will's having some power issues, so Will's not here for this episode. One of my favorite games, and I'm a little sad Will's not here because it involves one of his favorite players. One of the favorite games we've been playing the last couple of weeks is Levels, and it's comparing a player to how good they would be. Sometimes it's how good they would be if they played in today's NFL. Sometimes it's straight up how good you think they are in general. And so we got some curtains, we got some doors. Who is behind what door? We're gonna find out. But this week on Levels, about halfway through the week, and I saw Tony tweet this out too. I don't know when Kevin Durant is ever going to stop being great at basketball. I don't know if that exists. Like, I don't know what's the age where it's just like, oh, he is no longer 20 points super fucking efficient, right? And so because of that, I wanted to take the time and just appreciate the greatness that is Kevin Durant. Because you ain't going to the same way like Giannis. I don't think we understand like how great Giannis is. I'm not 100% sure if we understand how great Durant is, or when the next time we're going to see a guy like this, like just this smooth, this efficient. He's 7 foot tall, even if you don't want to admit it. He's got that KG thing about him. So starting at level 1, a guy who I feel like was compared more early in his career, but the Iceman. I don't know if you can see the picture very well. Is Kevin Durant better? Would he beat level 1 being George Gervin?
Yeah, and George Gervin was cold, but Kevin Durant is just even if you take out the accomplishments of what Kevin Durant has done, like Kevin Durant 7 feet can shoot from every level of the floor. Um, Really underrated passer and defender
Yeah.
as he's aged in the league. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Kevin Durant is better than George Gervin.
Yeah. I feel like too is let me pull it like this. Durant also has similar to Jokic, where it's like you're not going to necessarily call him a great defender, quote unquote, but he is always aware of what's going on in the court. And again, he can use his body. He is 7 feet tall. So like he is He's disruptive. He is able to block some shots. He's not like some lockdown defender, but he is definitely not a liability, which it showed a lot
Warriors
at the end
Durant
of
was
the
a great
state.
defender, though.
I agree.
Don't
I agree.
put that in the newspapers. Warriors Durant was a
I agree.
great defender.
I agree. Level 2 behind the curtain, we have, and this is why it's unfortunate Will's not here. This I feel like was the modern contemporary to Kevin Durant of we kind of all just waited of when are we gonna say he's better than Melo, just in terms of two guys who are maybe two of the best one-on-one scorers we've seen the last 30 years.
Ever. Ever, to be real. But yeah, I gotta put, as much as I hate to do it, I gotta put Kevin Durant over Melo. And I think Durant's efficiency is what probably would put him over, because Melo was super efficient from the mid range, and obviously his era, he wasn't necessarily like a high 3-point shooter as Durant would go on to do as the league changed. But I think that just being able, once he could win in the post on like a regular basis, I think that was what did it. Because Melo being able to win in the post like from day one kind of put him
Yeah.
at a different level to Durant for us when we were younger. But when Durant kind of started winning in the post, that's when it was like, okay, he's got it.
Yeah. And for everybody listening, I know Will's not here, but trust me, Will gonna take this opinion to his grave. Durant would stop at level 2. Level 3, Larry Bird.
This is where it's tough for me, but if Larry Bird is 3,
Think about who the
if
next
Larry
3
Bird's
are.
3, obviously Bronze 1. Obviously Bronze 1. Who's it's 5 levels, right?
Yeah, 5 levels.
Who's 4?
So again, the way I tried to do this is
And
it's similar.
This isn't me saying that this isn't me making a choice yet. I just want to kind of get a little bit of clarity.
So level 4, these are
Because we
all
know who
Kevin
5
Durant
is. We know who
career
level 5 is.
arcs. Level 5 is you guess level 5, level 4. I feel like once we started comparing KD, the only non-small forward I think Kevin Durant ever gets compared to, and that's Steph.
Wow. Okay. All right. So to Bird, to me, wow. Okay, that's interesting. To that, it was stop at 3 because I don't think KD's better than Larry Bird.
Okay, then you would have do you think Steph is better than Larry Bird?
I do, but I think Steph is better than KD too.
Okay, that's that. I think we're on the same line of that. That's why I had Steph. And yeah, you guessed number 1 is like he wasn't being this nigga, man. Like
No.
level 5 was pretty pretty
No.
But I think this is also
Larry Bird is phenomenal, and I think the only thing that you could give Kevin Durant of Larry Bird is longevity. I think if Larry Bird didn't have a fucked up back, I think he obviously would have had a longer run.
Oh yeah.
And everything KD does, Larry Bird could do. And Larry Bird was also a better passer. He was a plus defender. Larry Bird gets a lot of shit for his defense, but Larry Bird was a plus defender in a time where defense was a different game. And from a shooting standpoint, I think it's 1-to-1 when you think about like the shooting.
No, it's Bird is such a great shooter, and it's at a time when we say like move someone to a different era. If Bird's back isn't fucked up and we move him to this era, Bird might start making a lot of conversations really uncomfortable. Like he might really come out and fuck up a lot of people's who's the greatest this, who's the greatest that. Like he would do some damage. But again, I think this is also too like the Durant is one of those guys when he came out of college, it was like similar to how we're kind of viewing Wemby right now, where it's like we're just kind of waiting. It's like it all makes sense. Like he can shoot, he's taller than everybody, like he has a smooth game. And it's we're just kind of waiting for it to fully, you know, be the player that we think. And he's absolutely been that. And this is the kind of level of greatness when you talk about a Kevin Durant, which I think sometimes gets lost in the shuffle because unfortunately he plays during the worst era of sports media, which is how many titles do you have? And because of the way that he got his titles, everyone's like, oh, well, his titles don't count. Do not be misinformed for anybody listening. Kevin Durant is one of the greatest basketball players to ever play on the face of the planet. And if you talk about just run a 1v1, you might be looking at the greatest ever. Like, there just might not be a nigga who was better to play one-on-one basketball than Kevin Durant. It is, again, when you start with George Gervin as like that's your level one, I'm like, you playing a different game. And again, Steph, I think obviously the comparison because they played together and it was always this, well, who's actually the reason they're winning? Who's the best player? I think Steph was the best player, but that's not a diss towards Durant. I just think the world of Steph. I think the world of Durant too. I just think slightly more the world of Steph.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is, excuse me. You feel like there's anybody else that probably should be in here if you were to replace one of the levels? Like another nigga you feel like Kevin should be in his class or bracket or comparing him to?
No, I think that's all pretty solid.
The yeah. So shout out to Durant. I know. Excuse me. And I try again. Oh, see, these niggas want to piss me off already on a Sunday morning. All right, so we got to do bets. We got to do there. Again, Will's not with us today. Any closing notes or things we didn't get to? I know you already talked about the Mobb Deep album early in the show for your rapper of the week. I'm excited again for the possibility of what Versus can be. If it's actually, if everybody shows up and everyone's on good behavior, who do you got in the No Limit Cash Money Versus?
Even if we just talking that era of music, which I think it'll just be like that kind of 90s era. No, how dominant and rappers commercially.
Mm-hmm.
He was in hip hop history. C Murder and a lot of now.
I guess I would ask what should be the cutoff here for Wayne if we want to keep this to like truly feeling authentically like Cash Money? Like, what should be the cutoff for when Wayne became either individual or more Young Money than Cash Money?
It's not like 2000 this anymore. The 90s and Cash was gone soon after that. So yeah.
No, that's valid. That's valid. The my last question before I get out of here. This ain't a segment, but I just when I see certain people, and I think it should happen. The gap in Saquon Barkley for how cool his play should make him versus how cool his personality should make him. Oh, Tony about to rejoin. Give us 1 second. It's 13-11. These niggas really want to start my Sunday off on a bad note. I actually just we're gonna wrap it up here real quick. But no, I appreciate everybody as always for tuning in. This is the Group Chat Podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always, and we will starting new schedule. We will be starting on Wednesday, so we'll be live Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. right now. I think is the time, so 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Appreciate y'all as always, and we'll catch y'all in 3 days. I can count. Appreciate y'all. Also, again, shout out to W. Don't forget to use Hard Foul 10 when checking out with W. Go get you some good energy. We out.